Welcome back to Business Intelligence. My name is Nisar. This is part 3 of our training series. And today we're going to be looking at creating a line chart, a dual axis, and some customization in calculated fields. All right, now let's take a sneak peek again on our final dashboard that we plan on building together. So here it is, our Superstore dashboard. We have our sales and profit, a number of different visuals. And again, we have built the bar chart and we're going to do the line chart together. Let's see where we left off last time. So this is our bar chart. We had created a bar chart and we included our sales and monthly orders. And so what we want to add to this is a line chart. So how do we do that? On our line chart, we want to bring in our profit. So we have our sales for a bar and profit for a line. So we'll just drag this pill onto the rows. And what it will do is it's going to create another chart for us underneath. Okay? But the profit we want as a line. The sales we want to keep as a bar. So you see here under the marks, there are two sections. One's for the sales and one's for the profit. Now, in order to change the profit to a line, you need to just come here and change the mark type to a line. Okay, you see here we have a line for our profit, sales is still a bar. Now, if you look back at our Superstore dashboard, you'll see that both the line and the bar are on top of each other. So how do we do that in Tableau? This is what we call a dual axis. So in order to do a dual axis, what you need to do is click on the second pill, the profit, on the drop down, and you have an option to make a dual axis. What a dual axis does is it puts puts it on top of each other. So you have an axis with two measures. It assigns a color to each. So you have the orange and the blue. You have the ability here to change the color. So you can click on the color on the mark cards and edit the color. If I want my profit to be a gray and my sales to be blue, you can do that. Here are sales and profit. I do not want my profit. What I want is actually the percent of profit from my sales. Okay, so I don't want the actual profit amount. I want the percent of profit. If you look back at our Superstore dashboard, you'll see that it is a percentage. So we need to kind of redo this again. Okay, so we're going to undo the dual axis like so. Okay, and we're going to move the profit back. Now, what we want to do is we want to create a percentage, a calculated field, something that's not native to what we're showing right now. So in order to create a calculated field, what we need to do here is on the left-hand side, you click on this drop-down and click on Create Calculated Field. It brings up this pop-up. Okay, and in this pop-up, we can now name our new profit rate calculation. We'll call it profit rate. Okay, and profit rate essentially would be our sum of profit. And you start typing it. The sum is a calculation. Okay, you can do any type of calculation here in your calculation. So we're doing sum, but you can do any other calculation. If you want to do average, you start typing average. But in our case, we're going to do sum. Okay, and let me expand this a little bit so you can see. So essentially we have our sum of profit divided by our sum of sales. That is our profit rate calculation. Okay, and it says here that the calculation is valid. If you have any errors, it will show up with an error at the bottom. And you click on the drop down and it kind of gives you an indicator on where the error is. So in this case, it's missing a parentheses, and so we could add that in here. So once we have that, we click on OK. And what you see here is on the left-hand side, it adds a profit rate calculation here. You'll know what a calculated field is compared to the native fields. If you look here, the calculated field has a little equal sign next to it. Okay, that is a calculated field. Anything that does not have an equal sign next to it is not a calculated field. And so we have the ability here to edit. If you click and edit, you can go back and view the calculation or edit it if you need to change it. So now that we have our calculated field, we want to bring this in to the rows. Okay, and now we have the profit rate here, and we could change this to a line. Okay, and now we'll make this a dual axis. All right, now we want to change the colors. I want to click on the color card, edit, make our profit rate blue and our sales gray. There are other color palettes available here to you as well. Okay, so you can play around with whatever color palettes you have available to you, but I'm going to keep it simple for now and use the default colors here. Okay, we hit OK. So what you'll notice here is the sales axis is here on the left. The profit rate is on the right. What I do want to do is I want to change the profit rate. And so I want to right click on my profit rate and edit axis. All right, so what you'll notice here is my profit rate is going from 0 to like 9%. Okay, what I want is a fixed range. I want it to be 0 to 100. Okay, so that would be 0 to 1. Okay, when we're talking about percentages, they are a percentage from 0 to 1. And so I'm going to make it fixed. And so that way, now you'll notice when you click on the X that the profit rate is scaled a little bit better. And you'll notice that the profit rates are from 0 to 100. Now we want to change the formatting of our profit rate. Okay, you can click the formatting here on the profit rate pill at the top on the rows and click on format, and you have the scale here where I can change this to a percentage. I'll make it a percentage with 1 decimal place. So when you hover over, you'll see the numbers show up, and on the sales you have our numbers as well. What we want to do now is highlight some of the numbers on our bars and profit rate. When you click on the label on our profit rate, you can show your mark cards, and right now it's showing everything. You can show the minimum or maximum. You can show the line ends. So you want to show the minimum and maximum, and I want to just show the maximum value here. Okay, now the formatting is not correct on this. Okay, so in order to do the formatting for our profit rate, one way that we added the labels, as you notice, is by clicking on the show marks. Okay, I'll show you another way. I'm going to deselect this. I'm going to bring in the profit rate on top of the label. Okay, and now it will still show me the profit rate, but now I have some options here. The pill is added here to the cards, and I can click on this and format, and I can format the number here and make this a percentage with 1 decimal place. And now that will show up here. Let's do the same thing on our sales. I'm going to bring in my sales on top of the label. I'm going to click and format. Okay, I want to show this as a currency with 0 decimal places. Okay, now when I click on the label card, I also want to show the min max, and at the bottom I'm going to deselect the minimum, so I will only show the maximum. You'll have the ability to see the values when I hover over the tooltips. Okay, you can format the tooltips as well, clicking on them. Pop-up will show up here where you have the tooltips. You can change the labeling here as you wish, or as you wish to customize it. Now that we have this, I want to edit some of the titles on here. So I don't need to show the month of order date here at the top. I like to keep it clean. I'm going to hide that here. What I want to do now is relabel this tab to be sales and profit. Okay, essentially the labeling here will indicate what you're showing, and the color here on my legend will show you what the line and the bar are. So we don't need to show the axis on the left and right. I like to keep it clean. You don't need to have the axis there, because now I'm showing the maximum values here, so you kind of can gauge what the values are on your axis. So I'm going to right click here and select the show header, or deselect the show header, and it will disappear, and it's a little cleaner here now. Actually, not hide both of the axes. I do want to show the sales. So I remember how I hid both the axes. Now I can just go on the pill. If I want to show one of them, I can go to the pill for my sales and show my header. Now I don't need to have the sales title in here, so I can edit my axis and remove the sales because I have it in my title. And at the bottom here, you can just delete the sales, and it will keep it blank for me. So today what we did was we created a line chart, we created dual axis, calculated fields, we customized some of the labeling, the formatting of the axis. So now we're ready to move on to an area chart, which will be our next part. So make sure to like and subscribe again. If you missed anything, feel free to watch our previous versions, but we'll continue on our journey to create our Superstore dashboard.